I'm gonna be recording this session. I'm using Kuan right now, guys. I'm using Zoom because I realized previous quarter, I noticed there are recordings in Shallow or in Mongo. Nga dili siya available. You can't view it whenever you want to study. So yeah, that's the reason I'm using Zoom as of this moment. So we're gonna continue in doing derivatives, guys. As I've mentioned earlier, last time, the last topic that we have covered was derivatives or differentiation of differentiation of algebraic expressions. So today we're gonna work with trigonometric expressions and logarithmic expressions. Mag-start doon ang review sa para at least na may kuan ba, like what happened last time or how did we do the derivatives. So when we say algebraic expression, guys, katulad yun yung mga x squared, like for example, we have f of x equals 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. That's an algebraic expression. And if we wish to take or get the derivative of that expression, we notate that, excuse me, we notate it as f prime of x equals, we bring down the exponent multiplied by the quotient, so it becomes 6x plus 4 because the derivative of a constant is equal to 0. And we can just omit the 0 there. So that's the derivative of this 3x squared plus 4x plus 1 in a shortcut method. And what we have followed here is the power rule, if you remember the power rule, no? So the power rule says, if you have, most of the books, guys, are using this notation. So you're getting the derivative of x to the power of n, where n is not negative 1, is not equal to 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, not equal to 1, kaya mag-minus man ka. Where n is not equal to 1, this is going to be, bring down n, you do x, and then you do n minus 1. And that's how easy it is to apply the power rule. Now, let's talk about product rule. Before I'll dwell on exponential and logarithmic functions, guys, let's work with this items. Okay, I think this is very important that you need to know how to work with product rule. Okay, so I'll represent the expression by u and v lang ha. So if you have a derivative of u and also v, because this is product, when you do product, it's multiplication. This is very simple, guys. You copy the u, whatever u that you have, you copy the u, and then you take the derivative of the second expression, which is v, into that. It should not be o, it should be d. Vx, v, there. And then you add derivative of the u. So this notation of dx, guys, this is giving you an expression or an instruction that you need to after dx. That is also similar to this form here. You need to take the derivative of the u right after dx, and after you get the derivative, that's when you multiply them. You multiply these two things after you get the derivative, as well as here. And after doing that, if you can find any terms or any expression that can be combined with the use of the operation addition, then do it. If you cannot combine them, then you have to stop from there. The answer is just, actually, that's the final answer. If we cannot combine them. Just give me a minute. Okay. I am admitting people to get in. Okay. So let's have an example for this item. All right. So I want you to take the derivative of 3x squared plus 5x times the derivative. Now, sir, do we have to represent the first expression as u and the second expression as v? It doesn't matter which one you are going to represent. You can represent v Because you can represent v as a first expression, and then you represent u as a second expression. Anyway, this is just like multiplication naman, which means saying a commutative sila, they can be interchanged. The answer would not be different. It would be the same. So using the first to find out, what's my first derivative aning function, sir, with this example that I have here? This is very easy. Remember that I mentioned earlier, ang kanisya, sorry for the color, ang kanisya, kaning notation is just similar to this notation. So technically, to do that, this becomes our u, right? And this becomes our v. Amen? And then doing this uniform formula here, we just need to copy this. So that's uv, so it's already multiplied. And we're going to take this pattern there. So our u, guys, is, let me change color. You always make sure to place them inside the parentheses. 3x squared plus 5x, para makita ninyo ang difference, dx. And instead of writing v, we're going to be using the 2x plus 1 because we represent that as our v. So we have 2x plus 1, and then we do plus. We now do this pattern here. Which one is our v? The 2x plus 1. So 2x plus 1. Let me just scroll to the left. Times dx. And then our u, which is 3x squared plus 5x there. We are just going to simplify this. Now, you notice that the red ones, I mean to say these things, guys, this one, 3x squared, do anything to those terms. Okay, wala man the instructions to do something on them. Our instructions are here, man. You get the dx of this 2x plus 1, and as well you get the dx with 3x squared plus 5x. So let's do that. Equals, so I'm going to copy the 3x squared plus 5x with what is the derivative of 2x plus 1? The derivative of 2x plus 1, guys, we follow the original pattern or rule that we have before, which is, I think this is recorded. This is recorded. It's recording. Sorry. Josh sent me a private message, guys, if it's okay to record. Yes, this is recorded. Very good. So ang derivative. I'm opening several windows, guys. One window for the video, one window for the screen share, one video for the participants. I want to make sure nga every time when I will get in, I'll admit them right away, and one window for our chat. So you said that the derivative of 2x plus 1 is 2. Then we write 2 here. And then plus, again, we don't do anything with 2x plus 1, right? 2x, sorry for that. What happened? Di ko ka-error. And then 2x plus 1 times. This time, we're going to take the instructions that you need to get the derivative of 3x squared plus 5x. X plus 5. Right? It's plus, Eliza. I think typo na. Okay, it's 6x plus 5. And then after this, guys, you do the usual algebraic manipulation, distribute and then combine like terms, and then you're done. So let's work this out. This is, so you multiply 2 to the terms inside the parentheses. We have 6x squared plus 10x, right? Agree? And you have 12x squared plus 10x plus 6x and then plus 5. And then combine the terms that you can combine. So here, we have, what is 6x squared plus 12? It's 18x squared. 18x squared, 10x plus 10x plus 6x, that's going to be no more other constants. So you have 5. In other words, the derivative or the first derivative of this function here, guys, is 18x squared plus 26x plus 5. Question so far for product rule. And that's the shortcut. So imagine if kani ang given, guys, imagine kung kani ang given, I mean, I'm going to request you to use the limit definition of getting the derivative of the limit of f of x plus delta x minus f of x over delta x as delta x approaches to 0, it's going to take long. Makirig ang kalibutan, ana. So we're going to take, okay, so done with product rule. Now let's work on quotient rule. So did I write product rule? Okay, I did. So here we have quotient rule. Quotient rule. No? I think, is it me or maybe because I have a lot of windows open? Mag-close ako window ha. Murag lagi ako ang video, guys. And I'm gonna close my email at the same time. Close this out. I'm gonna close my Discord, Skype. I'm not using Skype right now. And then PPT. I think I have somehow closed. And then Spotify. No? Yeah, I'm using, okay. I hope this works better. Okay, so yeah, it did. Quotient rule, guys. Of course, when we say quotient rule, the operation is division. Let's make use of the terms u and v lang gihapon. So derivative of u over v. So this is a difference between the product rule and the quotient rule. The product rule the two terms are written side by side, and the quotient rule is written in this form here. What you're going to take is you start with the denominator v, and then take the derivative of the numerator u, and then you take the derivative of the denominator v, right, all over v squared. No? Now, guys, I need you to there are a lot of exercises in the book, guys, and I need you to work those exercises. So this is really simple. We can understand these process here. Naman kayo mga times, guys, nga for example, no, moabot na kanang butangan po nag-exponent dira, butangan nag-exponent dira. And we cannot apply this right away because we don't see an exponent here. Agree? We don't see any exponent for u and v. So we cannot immediately do what we need to do in the process. Later on, after we discuss the trigonometric and logarithmic expression and get key, and there are the application of derivatives, guys, nga ako i-discuss maybe if maabot sa oras today or next week. I hope, guys, nakabasa mo atong kuan. Katong kaning post sa Facebook nga katong manag-uyab and then away-away sila, and then if the boy walks distance per minute away from the girl and the girl walks distance per minute away from the boy, and then we are asked how fast are they walking away from each other. Kita mo ato nga kuan post on FB on FB. Kakabasa mo ato. I know nga most of the reposts, something like that. Okay, so I saw it in FB, guys, and then that problem, guys, might be funny because yeah, it is. The thing is, that's one of the applications of derivatives. So we want to try to look at how fast man two things would get away from each. You have a container like a cylinder, no? And then you put water in it. And then given the fact nga ang movement sa water kay mao nay specific velocity, the question is how fast man napuno ang cylinder. So that's another application of derivatives. Kana mga rate of change and then optimization. Sige. Now, let's have an example using the quotient rule. So I want you to take this derivative. I'm just going to use the same the same given, the 3x squared plus 5x over 2x. Was it plus 1? Excuse me, plus 1. Okay, all right. Now we wish to find, okay, how do we go about this, sir? Now, you need to first pattern this given to this item here, numerator, and our v is the denominator. Dama na. I just did. Thank you so much, Lape, Nicole. I just did. So doing that, our v is 2x plus 1. If you're going to ask me, sir, can we interchange them? I would suggest do not think of interchanging them because it would mess up the solution. So you stick with this particular formula that I just gave you guys. Okay na ako mag-interchange. I can distinguish man how to manipulate sa kaninga part here pa. So, but for your side, since you're not going to take mathematics as your field in the future, just follow the formula that I'm giving you, okay? So let's see the pattern. We have v. Our v is the denominator, so we are going to place it inside the parentheses, 2x plus 1. And then we take the derivative of the numerator, which is x, right? And then we do minus The u, guys, is 3x squared, which is our numerator, plus 5x, and then close it. And then we are going to do dx. Sige, yeah, that's a challenging part. Is there a way that she can use maybe a laptop or a cell phone? Ano mo na siya, if magsige ka crash ang Zoom, guys, if you're using laptop, maybe because gamay ra og RAM, and then check your task manager if daghan ka ayog ka ng background apps na nagdagan ba. That's one of the reasons. So yeah, at least we know. Thank you so much, Princess. So after this, guys, we're done with the numerator. Then we do the denominator here. So squaring the denominator, which is 2x plus 1 squared, correct? The final answer. We just need to manipulate the numerator and then simplify. So let's work this out. So we have 2x plus 1 times the derivative of 3x squared plus 5x. We just solved it earlier. We have 6x plus 5, right? And then minus the 3x squared. We just copy it because we are not instructing anything to do on it. And the derivative of 2x plus 1 is just simply 2x plus 1 squared, right? And then we are going to simplify the numerator. Multiplying this, we have 10x. Oh, what happened? Round out? No, wala man. What happened? Okay, so you're okay. My bad. Okay, did siya 10x? It's 12x squared. 12x squared plus 10x plus 6x and then plus 5 minus, guys, every time you do minus with algebraic expression, guys, so place them. Okay. What is 2 times 3x squared? That's 6x squared. 2 times 5, that's 10x. And then you distribute the negative signs inside the parentheses. Plus 1 squared. Okay? And then we have 12x squared plus 10x. Yeah, 16x. 16x plus 5. Distributing the negative inside the distributing the negative sign and then negative or minus 10x over 2x plus 1 squared. And then the things that we can combine in the numerator is we have 12x squared, 16x minus 10x, that's going to be plus 6x, and then lastly the plus 5. And then you copy the denominator, 2x plus 1 squared. This is your final answer. Sorry. This is the first derivative of this expression, this one here, using the quotient rule. Here, akong bagam yan, ha. I hope it's still visible on your end. Questions so far? Sige, I'm gonna give you an exercise, guys, to work. Maybe 5 minutes for both items. So, well, that's a good question. You have the option to leave it as it is. You also have the option to stay to expand it. But kasugura, so I'll just stick with that. If you wish to like expand it, it's your option. It's your decision to make. So I want you to take this 4x squared minus 2 times 5x cubed plus 3. So take the derivative of the first one. Number 2, a of x equals x plus 4. Go. 5 minutes. Well, I'll take the formula for koan. The formula for your derivatives katong shown ako before. important files. Okay, here you are. Um, and just so you know, guys, ang hirap yung kontraan, the formula is already, the pattern or the formula is already given. And yung kontra is like, dili mo palipat sa signs when you multiply numbers, dapat correct jud. When you combine numbers, dapat correct side. Mora dyan yung kontra na. If everything is correct, then you are safe that we can say na you're confident in answering derivatives. Dili mo lutang. Okay. All right, so do you have an answer for number one? So what's your answer for number one, guys? Don't be shy. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I only blow a candle during birthdays. Anyway, so what's your answer for number one? Did you get answer half for number one? H prime of x equals minus 30x squared plus 24x. Mabuhay! Congratulations, everyone. O, diba? It is smooth, guys. It is smooth. Again, as I mentioned, it is very easy so long as... Wait, there's something. Okay. Low system is some applications. Sa badya? Musa may close na kuan. Kasi save ako ang kuan, ha? I'm just gonna close my Excel. Okay. Close this one too. Okay. It's very easy, guys, if and only if kana ganing dili technically familiar, but kanang hanas na ka mag-algebraic expression pa. If dili pa ka hanas, you're doing algebraic expression, then what you need to do is to practice yourself. Wala gina, guys, practice yourself. So let's work on number 2. What's the derivative of using the quotient rule? What's number 2? Um, and guys, just so you know, no nga, I know nga all the resources are available sa inyong and especially if na may internet connection, it wouldn't be easy for you. It wouldn't be hard for you to solve for the answer. But the thing is, I would suggest to like practice it first before checking the online resources. So what's your answer for number 2? Copy type. Okay. Okay. Yep, that's a correct answer. So it's number 2, a prime of x. Here's my answer. X squared plus 4x plus 1 over 2 times x plus 2 squared. So I hope you were able. All right, so this is the answer for number 2. All right, no more questions so far? Wala na ha? Okay, Josh. Yes, Josh. How come the demo what? Denominator? Okay. Okay. Actually, I was expecting na imamuta na because nga wala na siya na. Sige, here's the thing. I'm gonna show the solution ha. Answer. First thing is a prime of x equals the denominator 2x plus 4 times the derivative and then minus x squared minus 1 times the derivative of 2x plus 4. What? X plus 4 ang denominator, 2x plus 4 squared. Okay. 2x plus 4 squared. Agree? Right? Are we good? Do we still follow? Now I'm gonna do the multiplication, huh? So we have 2x plus 4 times 2x minus x squared minus 1 times 2. Right? And then we are going to what? Do the denominator 2x plus 4 squared. Next, um, plus 8x, amen? No? And then minus 2x squared minus 2 over 2x. Sunod, we have 4x squared plus 8x minus what? What is this? 2x squared plus 2, right? And this becomes 2x plus 4 squared. Next, we have 2x squared plus 8x plus 2 over 2x plus 4 squared. Did you get this? And then I know that I can factor out 2 from the numerator plus 4x plus 1. And also I can factor out 2 from the denominator, x plus 2 squared. I'm sorry. Yeah, x plus 2 squared. And what's next? We can cancel out this 2 here. So our final answer is x squared plus 4x plus 1 over x plus 2 squared. There. Question so far? Wala na? So delete 4. 4 mo nabutang di ay. Di man. 2 man. Ay. Ah. Yeah, sakto di ay, sakto, sorry. May bad. Dapat dito, dapat diri guys. Dapat dito. Kaya ako nalay suwat ha. Sige, ako nalay. Ako ay solve ha. Sige ha. Papaon sa ko ni diri. Para makuan. Makita niyo nganong ang answer kaniha. Ang anong answer is just kanira. Anong answer kay kanira ba? Sa naman to ay lagman. Kaning 2 times x plus 2 squared. Take a look guys. If we were to expand the denominator, if we were to expand the denominator, I'm going to expand it. Square the first term, that's going to be 4x squared, no? Tapos plus twice the product of the first and second term, so we multiply ni. 4 times 2x, that's 8x. Twice pag that's going to be 16x. And then square the last term, we have 16. Tama? Agree? And then you can factor out 2 from here. Ang mahitabo, I'm working on the denominator ha. You can factor out 2. So mahitabo na is 2 times 2x squared plus 8x plus 8. Tama? And then we can factor this out. Ma-factor na siya as 2x plus 4 squared. I know, not 4. 2 di ay. Sorry, my bad. 2 na siya dapat. 2. And mauna, ang kani siya, ma-cancel out ni siya ang kaning 2. So mahabilin kay kanina lang. Yeah, then factor out sa ang 2 ana. I know. 2. Di ba 4 dapat 4. 2 tapos 2x plus 2 na squared. You can remove the 2. I just factor out the 2. There. Yep, you can factor out 4. But if you wish to factor out 4, mo yapon 1/2 yung mabilin. Same magyapon og gali Josh. So if factor out yung 4 no, sige, factor out na ko ang 4 for this one here. Papaon sa nina ko ha. Let's work on Josh's answer. Yes, if you can simplify it, better nga simplify siya. So I'm gonna factor out 4 ha. 4x squared plus 4x plus 4. And then mas easy na lang na siya i-factor. 4 times x plus 2, no? 2 squared, sakto? And then since denominator man siya, since denominator man akong gina-work, meaning to say, kani siya is just the same thing, ana. Na if you're going to put this there, makancel mo ang 2 sa numerator, kaning 4. Na kayo mahabili nga 2. So that's why napakay 2 din ang denominator. Yes, it's 1/2. 2/4 is equal to 1/2. Good. So mo ni ang answer. Good. Questions so far? Wala na? I'm gonna share something na guys. Mag-stop sharing na ko guys. I'm gonna switch a different window na. Because we're gonna work on logarithmic derivatives. So I'm gonna stop sharing. And I'm gonna share this one here. So I hope you can see this. I'm going to send this in our GC, guys. I created this when I was in UC. So my students are all provided with formulas that I have been using since I was born. Charot, since I was born. So these are the common, someone is, chat. Where can I find the chat? Okay, my bad. Okay, so here, these are the formulas that we can use in getting the derivatives, guys. And I also include here the factoring method. Look, here, kaning part diri. How can I scroll to here? Kani siya nga part here. I'm gonna just, okay. Kani nga part here, guys. Kani nga part here. Ano nidako ang kani nasa kilid ba? So difference of squares, I wrote the factored form para at least na ay mo guiding you if you can factor something. sum and difference of cubes, factoring by grouping, and the general equation of the line and slope intercept form. So, yep, we're going to be using this for the whole time of doing derivatives. So before I'm going to do this derivative of trigonometric identities, we're going to do derivative of exponential and logarithmic functions. If you notice this was familiar, guys, kanisha guys, I think you see this in the book. This means the same thing, huh? So do not like, you don't want to be like, kuan man, mag-math field in ka college. So ayaw na lang mag-dual, ani, pwede mo malibog sa kadaghang formula nga gamiton. As well as this one here. Ha, kay para, dili, mukirig ang kalibutan. This is the power function rule. So if you notice, ako lang siyang minimize kay dinagid mo sakto sa kuan. So if you have a function nga x raised to the power of n, then the derivative of that function is bring down the n. You do x n minus 1, or this is the case. Derivative of u to the power of n, you bring down n, then u, then n minus 1, then you times it with the derivative of the u. So basically, what? U is no longer an x variable. It should be any term except x. So here, let's work with derivative of logarithmic function, huh? So let's take note of these. The derivative of e to the u, guys, so the u there is anything. It could be except a constant, ha, dapat si u kay dili siya constant. So it should be like anything except constant. Pwede variable, sir? Yes. Pwede expression, sir? Yes. Pwede function itself? Yes, pwede. So long as dili siya constants. So the variable of, the derivative of e to the u, guys, is equal to e to the u itself times the derivative of the exponent. So let me give you an actual example. How can I share a whiteboard? I think mas better kung i-share na akong whiteboard. Sige. Here, it says that the derivative of e to the u, guys, e to the u, do you see the whiteboard? Equals e to the u times the derivative of the u. Now, let's work an example. Diba I said earlier, it can be anything so long as, I'm talking about the u, ha? So long as the u is not a constant number. So if I'm going to give you a function like this, f of x equals e to the 2x plus 1. How do we know the derivative of f of x, or that function? And that's easy, guys. We just need to follow this pattern here. What's our u? It shows that our u, guys, is 2x plus 1. Amen? So we're just going to do this pattern, and it's very easy. E, I'm just going to erase this. So, sorry. It's going to be f prime of x equals e, and then our u is 2x plus 1, and then you do dx. What's our u again? 2x plus 1. And again, the instruction here is just to take the derivative of the terms after the dx. And this e to the 2x plus 1 doesn't have any instruction to do. We just have to keep it as it is. So we're going to copy e 2x plus 1. And then what is the derivative of 2x? Simple. It's 2, using the power rule and the constant rule. Derivative of constant is 0. So basically, the answer is 2e 2x plus 1. Easy. Question so far? Sir, would that be okay kung aralami kutub, sir? Yeah, I would accept it. Rather, if you don't want to write in this form here, I'm good with this. Okay, so let's have another example. A of x equals e raised to the power of 5x squared plus 5. No? Sige, atong butang x pag yun na siya. So what do we do here? It's very simple. We do the same pattern that we have for e to the x. And this is only going to work for e to the x, okay? E to the u rather. Remember, this is only going to work with e to the u. And it's very simple. So I'm going to, I'm going to copy the e 5x squared plus 5x times Be careful mo sometimes because I have encountered this before when I was teaching a different school. Sakto na iyang gibuhat, kani siya, sakto na siya diri nga part. Pero the problem is, ang kaning 2 gani here, iyang gi-multiply sa exponent, which should not be the case. Ha? Di siya, di siya dapat may tabo. So what is the derivative of 5x squared plus 5x? Anyone can type the answer. Just the derivative of 5x squared plus 5x. (10x plus 5). Very good. Yep, you're correct. What? Adriel, and then Gwyneth, and then Patricia. Yeah, so that's gonna be 10x plus 5. You're good. So you can just rewrite doing this. No. 10x plus 5. Yes, Josh. Do we have to distribute it? Okay, what? That's a good question. Sabi na, distribute ba? Okay, question ni Josh, guys. Sir, what if u is a constant? So, sir, what if u is a constant? Ogalino 2021. That's going to be a case where we have e, let's say for example, our u is 2, no? E to the power of 2, and then you have that function. What is e to the power of 2? Remember that's it's just equal to 271a to the power of 2. Sakto? And if you're going to simplify this, that's gonna give us a constant value. And what is a derivative of a constant? Technically, 0. So yeah, that's why there's an exception. Dapat ang numerator, not numerator, but the exponent of e is not a constant term. I hope it answers your questions, Josh. So let's work on the next formula. Okay, I'm gonna close the whiteboard. Then, wait, what happened? Kafani ani ko an profile or display picture in Jacob. Okay, so we're done with the e to the u. Now let's work on a to the u. Okay, so it says here that the derivative of a to the u, guys, is just equal to a to the u itself, and then ln. Ln stands for natural logarithm a times the derivative of u. This is only going to work when a is greater than 0. So if your a is negative number, then it's not possible to do it. It's going to be like math error or syntax error, because when it comes to natural logarithm, mga good guys, it always deals with whole numbers. Natural, when you say natural, set of natural numbers, and then natural numbers are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. And these numbers are greater than 0. So it cannot be negative number. Okay, so let's work on an example using, let me share a whiteboard. So I'm gonna erase all of these things has a whiteboard, guys. Okay. Ang nakasad na gud sa Zoom nga whiteboard, I cannot scroll para ma-extend siya. I have to erase everything. So I'm gonna clear everything, okay? Sige. I just did it. So let's work on getting the derivative of a to the u. Again, remember that a should be greater than 0. This is going to be a to the u itself, and then ln u. If I'm not mistaken, let me check. I don't memorize the formula as well. No, it's ln a, see? Sorry, my bad. It's ln a times the derivative of u. Okay, so again, the condition here, the u should not be a constant value. Because it had it been, or it would reach a constant, if it were a constant value, ma 0 na siya. If it were a constant value, ma 0 man siya. Sige. So let's have an example. H of x equals, not a, but let's have 5 raised to the power of 2x plus 4. There you go. Let me just turn on the aircon. So if we wish to take the derivative of this one, guys, this is very easy. We just have to follow this pattern here. Remember that our u our u is equal to 2x plus 4, and our a is equal to 5, which satisfies this condition because 5 is greater than 0. And then we're just going to follow this pattern. So we have 5, 2x plus 4, ln 5, dx 2x plus 4. Please take the derivative of the term right after dx. So kanang yung mga terms after dx, guys, that gives you instruction ba nga, you need to get the derivative of that expression. So if we wish to continue doing the process, we have ln 5 times, what is 2x? What is the derivative of this expression? It's 2, right? And then, guys, you cannot multiply, you cannot do this. You cannot, if you have like this, guys, if you have like that, and then you do this, and then you are going to do ln 10. No, it's a wrong answer, huh? Because this expression is a natural logarithm expression, but this one is like a natural number. It's like a different expression compared to this one. So technically, we cannot combine them. So your answer is like this, or you can write doing this: 2 ln 5 tayon 5. Pwede rin na bali-bali, guys. But I would suggest to place each term inside the parentheses to make like distinguish gani nga okay, kani siya nga part kay lahi ni siya nga part, kaning ln 5 is another part na sa or another expression, and then kaning 5 to the power of 2x plus 4 is another expression na sad. Question so far for a greater than 0. Masabtan na so far, di ba? Again, I'm gonna send you the formula that we have. Next, we have one of the easiest derivative. We have the derivative of ln u. Simple. You just have to do 1 over u fraction, and then take the derivative of u. So I'm gonna just here. Let me just clear the writings on the board. Admit. So the derivative of ln u is equal to 1 over u dx u. Again, this is only gonna work, guys, if your u is not a constant term, okay? If it is going to be a constant term, it's easy because you are going to take it as a constant or derivative of a constant, which is equal to 0. So let's have an example of ln 5x squared plus 1 there. So our u in this example is 5x squared plus 1, right? So if we're going to take, that's the function. If we're going to take the derivative of this one, guys, so you do, let me change color ha para makita yung difference. 1 over u, which is 5x squared plus 1, times what is the derivative of, I'm just gonna write, before ko magdiritso, kaya marag diritso na ko. Ako lang butangan o kuan, kanang notation para makita ninyo ang solution. Ana. No? And then our instructions here is to get the derivative of 5x squared plus 1. So we have, be careful mo ha, sometimes I encountered this before, sad nga, when they write this, automatically they cancel that out. No, it's not possible doing that. Kaya nga naman, you still need to get the derivative of 5x squared plus 1 before doing cancellations if there are any. So 5x squared plus 1 times, what's the derivative of 5x squared plus 1? It's 10x. 10x, right? 10x. 10x. And then if you wish to simplify it, you have 10x over 5x squared plus 1. And that's how easy it is. O, di ba? Isa ingon lisod ang differential calculus. Easy. So let me share back sa mahiwagang formulas. So let's work on the last one under logarithmic expressions. So nakoy gibutan gani, guys, where u is not a constant. So nakoy mga kanang mga ginagmay nga notations, okay, at least kanang opening location. Taka lang tubag si Google on. And then kani siya mo ni ang product rule, and then kani siya is quotient rule. And then by the way, the denominator should not be. Yeah. We have already covered this one, man. Kani nga mga notations. We're done, man, ani. We're done sa ani here. And this is just the same here. And that's just the same here. So manata ng first part. Derivative of a constant, we already know that's equal to 0, so we're done. Derivative of a power function or power rule. So we're done with this one here. And wala pa ta here. Ni diretso lang ko here. Diretso lang ko ani. Okay, mas easier man siya. And then, dili pa. There are still more. Napay integral. So let's continue. So let's work on derivatives of logarithmic terms or expression. So here is expression or the formula. D of x, or derivative of log of u with the base a. Remember, a is always greater than 0. Then your derivative is 1 over u, ln a, then the derivative of u. So let me share my whiteboard and clear the screen. So dx log of a. Again, a should be greater than 0. That's equal to 1 over u ln a tapos dx u. There. So let's take, for an example, I have a function a of x equals log of 5 2x squared plus 4. There. And an expression. So how do we get the derivative of the term or the expression? Simple. The function rather. Your u here is 2x squared plus 4. Your a is 5. A is 5. That's what we have. So we're gonna follow the pattern that we have here. We have 1 over our u is 2x squared plus 4 times ln 5. Okay, extend ang fraction symbol. Times the derivative of u, 2x squared plus 4. Agree? And then what is the derivative of 2x squared plus 4? So I'm just gonna rewrite it. 2x squared plus 4 ln 5 times 4x. Good job. 4x. And then if you wish to continue simplifying this, you would have 4x over 2x squared plus 4 ln 5. There you go. Easy. Right. Question so far? So we're good in doing the logarithmic expression na. Okay. So, di ba? Kasi ingon nyo lisod ang math. Char. Let's work on trigonometric identities. So familiar mo sa cosine, sine, tangent, secant, cosecant, cosine, and cotangent. So here are the 6 different derivatives, okay? Again, remember that u should not be a constant term. So, oops. Dapat kanina ko ang i-read. Okay. So if you're going to take the derivative of sine u, guys, the answer is cosine u dxu. And if you're going to take the derivative of cosine u, the answer is negative sine u dxu. So let me give you an example, huh? Share whiteboard. So again, the derivative of dx cosine u is equal to sine u dxu. No? Sakto ba or negative to? Sayop ko. See? It should be negative sine u. Negative. Okay. So let's say, for example, I have a function f of x equals cosine x. So what is the derivative of f of x? Simple. It's going to be, what's our u here? Our u is equal to x. So it's going to be sine x dx x. So unsa may derivative sa x? One. Perfect. 1. And simple, the answer is negative sine x. Let's make it a little complicated. Dx tangent x squared plus 1. No? So I want you to solve for the derivative of tangent x squared plus 1. So tanaw din ka sa formula. Makita ang formula, guys? Do you see the formula? Or the whiteboard ang yung makita? Okay. Sige. So this is the formula for tangent expression or tangent function. Secant squared u dxu. No? Do you see that? So using that formula or that expression, according to the formula that we have, let me change color. Dx tan u, tan siya tan, is equal to secant squared u excuse me. Ana, that should be the formula for tangent u. Our u in the given, guys, is x squared plus 1. Agree? So we're just going to follow the pattern that we have in the formula, and that's going to be very easy. So this is going to be secant squared x squared plus 1, which is our u here, and then dx x squared plus 1. Now, what is the derivative of x squared plus 1? 2x. Tama? 2x plus 1 times 2x. Good. You need to be careful though, because getting 2x, guys, you cannot multiply this 2x here to the terms here. Why? Because this is one whole term. And this one whole term is a trigonometric expression. This term here is an algebraic expression. You cannot combine if the two expressions are not similar. You can only combine if the two expressions are similar. So technically, you cannot multiply 2x by x squared plus 1. So your final answer should be 2x secant squared x squared plus 1. Question. And that's going to work on the rest of the formula of the trigonometric identities. So that's going to be the same thing here. Question so far. So guys, maka-answer mo guys if I'm going to give you in ani nga problem. I'm going to erase this, ha? I'm going to erase it. Maka-answer mo if naganta mo problem ng ani. Let's say for example lang, ha? Maka-answer mo, ani? Because it's possible. It's a combination of quotient rule and trigonometric identities nga derivative. Yes, guys. So mo nang kanang hinahinay gid nako kay naagi na siya sa kuan, nasa sa competencies ninyo sa DepEd. Usa-usahon na ni. Kuan, you do with the quotient rule first. No, you do with the quotient rule. So let's work with the quotient rule, ha. I'm gonna give you like kanang pattern. Di ba, mag-una man ka sa denominator. So this is gonna be your u and then your v. If naka-familiar or if naka-remember mo sa quotient rule. So you have tangent 3x, no, dx imong u cosine 2x squared plus 1 plus cosine 2x squared plus 1 dx tangent 3x over tangent 3x squared. Yeah, pangwaon na mong derivative ani as well as this one here using the trigonometric identity, trigonometric formula. This is already the shortcut, Josh. Imagine, Josh, if in any ang gamiton and then you're going to use the limit of f of x plus delta x minus f of x over delta x and then delta x approaches to 0. Imagine kung kani imong expression niya, kani imong gamiton nga formula. The more siya taas, so this is already the shortest way to do it. So just continue this process, guys, and then once ma-solve ni mong derivative ani, as well as this one here, you just have to, di man mo makombine kay, I know for sure, di na combine kay, ano man, lailahi man na ang kuyog ni cosine, lailahi sa ang kuyog ni tangent 3 niya. Di sa nimo combine ng cosine ng tangent, kay lailahi sila. So, inikuha ni mo sa derivative, inikuha ni mo sa derivative, ana, humana ka. That's the final answer. Kay dili maka-multiply na nila, kay lailahi mo sa trigonometric identity. Nag-gets niyo kung point, na nung dili sa makombine? Diba? Na-imagine ninyo nga, inikuha na og derivative ani sir, kani kay kabaw ko negative sign and then whatever derivative sa 2x squared plus 1. So, na ako'y cosine which is trigonometric identity, na ako'y algebraic. Di siya pwede makombine kay algebraic lahi sa trigonometric identity. Tapos, kani siya, ang derivative ani sir kay secant squared u and then derivative sa u which is 3x is 3 na lang. Di na ko pwede makombine ang 3 sa secant o sa cosine kay lahi mo sila nga expression. So, basically, man ako sa answer, sir. Di ba? Kamuno kay mo, kuan na mo, diretso na mo, kunahalisan sa nasan. Alisan sa nasan. Ya, napa na yung mga nani nga given guess ay. Makatawa mo kuan. So yeah, ayan na siya guys. Mga ana nga situations ba. Kaya na lagi na. Oy, kaya na. The formula is given to you. So I'm gonna give an assignment, guys. It's already 8:54. I wish I could. I was really thinking after Ani, guys, after Ani, mag-discuss unta ko kuan kanang sana mag-discuss unta ko optimization na kanang optimization is one of the applications of derivative aside sa rate of change. Ang sama ng optimization, guys, let's say for example no kanang nakay mag-experiment ka in a laboratory and then di ba na may mga test tubes ana no test tubes niya. Let's say for example a test tube kay inyo butangan og kanang liquid. Sudlan yung liquid. Ang sa may maximum nga volume sa liquid nga ma-place nimo sa usa ka test tube. That's an example of optimization sa using derivative function or derivative concepts. And I think we are going to discuss it next week na lang. So for this week, guys, for this week, guys, I'm gonna provide an assignment. And again, I know that resources are already available on your end, kaya na may internet connection, but please, before you check the resources, before you go online, try to do it yourselves. And if ma-stuck mo, try to check our recording. And if ma-stuck yapon mo, di mo yapon kasabot, try to ask your classmates. And if there's no way to check na, don't do the shortcutting na mo, dito mo sa resources online. Try to kuan sa kanang do your part sa ba, di ba? Ana man ang live para maka-learn sa. We wouldn't learn man if we don't do our part man. So any questions so far? According sa nagbasa-basa ko mga kanang kuan sa template sa Zoom, it will be available an hour after the actual class. So maybe within the day. Sa shallow na kaipot. Nope, we're not gonna meet Wednesday, huh? Thursday? We are not gonna meet on Wednesday kaya wala tayo schedule sa Wednesday. We're not gonna meet on Thursday kaya once a week na bita mag-meet, remember? So next week, we're gonna talk about the applications of, first application of derivatives, which is optimization. And I think I was able to cover the trigonometric identities and the logarithmic exponential, di ba? Nakakover tagdaghan karon. Yup, I was in Bantayan ba ya? So Benignit is life, and Biko is life. So guys, no more questions? Bantayan Island. All right. Thank you so much, guys. See you next week. Ang katong formulas, yes, I will upload it in Shelo as well. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, guys, and see you next week. And watch out for the assignment. The deadline for the assignment is on Saturday, kaya wala klase Friday. God bless. Take care. Mag-end meeting na ko, and then I'm gonna stop sharing.